Now, anybody want? It's right here. Okay. Now it says there are a few people that ask Shaloi Kahoigen. The Gemara in Tainus brings 3 people that asked not in the proper way. Eliezer and Avram asked, whichever girl comes out, that's the girl. She could have been a... There's a famous Maisa with somebody. He had a, whatever, under the table, he gave a kick, and somebody told him he's choshed something. It was a wooden leg. Nobody said, ow. So he chapped the matzah. She's a chiga. Kipzaran Rabbi Sai. Matzah chemish. How are you? So, here, Rabbi Bornfreund has brought us some delicious stuff to cheer us up a little bit. Even though we are hardcore drinkers, we're in a different league. We're holding by big things. But it's okay, we eat that too. It's good. Everybody can pass it around and appreciate it. Yashakayach. It's okay. It's from Borough Park. If it's from Borough Park, it's good. We're not looking at the hechsher. Years ago, I couldn't eat anything unless there was a choice between that, and I picked that because I didn't like the other hechsher. Or else I didn't feel right. If I didn't pick it out over something that is actually no good, I want this, then I was ready to eat. Otherwise, you had to, when you ate in someone's house, you had to ask. And nowadays, it's like, Rabbi say, enjoy, machta bracha. Now, Chaim Tevim Shalom, Baruch Atah Adonai Yoli. Hey, the Melech Olam. Shakel Midrash. Amen. Now Eliezer Avram, the famous story with the chassan sitting by the table with the kala. Somebody said, kick the kala's foot. And if she doesn't say, ow, you got a problem. And Eliezer Avram wasn't afraid of that. What if she's a chiga? The Gemara says, no. What's the Gemara say? A chiga? A suma? A chiga? Chigeres. And he asked Shaloi Kahoigen, and he got Rivka. And who else? Shaul HaMelech. He also asked Shaloi Kahoigen, whoever kills Goliath Aplishti gets my daughter. What if it's a mamza? Right? So that's 2 of them. There's three people who asked Shaloi. Who's the third? Yiftach. Who's the other one? Yiftach. First one comes out and he talks, okay. Now I want to talk about the first 2. You see from here, you can ask Shaloi Kahoigen. Why did Chazal tell us this? You need to hear that story, that they asked, they didn't do right, and that it turned out gewaldig. Even though they didn't do right, it turned out gewaldig. He got a David for an Adam, that's not bad. And he got a Rivka for the Shidduch. I think he did quite well with the Mama Rivka. And he said, Shaloi Kahoigen, you did wrong. What's tusta? And such an avla. You're playing with fire. You know what? Yitzchak's going to get a chigeres, the mama of Klal Yisrael, that passes, and he's going to get a mamza Hashem Yerachim. What's going on here? And they were matzliach. So I want to say a pshat on that Chazal. It says, Rishoyim Aleim Charotis. In Novank, they talked a lot about Rishoyim Aleim Charotis. Rishoyim are full of Charotis. What that means, I'm not getting involved. I'm saying my pshat. They're full of charotis because they don't see everything's l'tova. The mistake you made, the Eibishter will work it out. The most famous Alter von Kelm says by Yosef HaTzadik, it says that he, by Yosef HaTzadik, it says that he told them, he told the Shvatim, the Alter von Kelm says, the Eibishter chain, you wanted to sell me? Look what you saved the world because you sold me. You did the biggest avla in the universe. You do that to your own brother. It's an avla gedola that's for Deiris was suffering from Mechiras Yosef, and with that Mechiras Yosef, was macht er? For Shus Gemunis, Beis Hashem. But that Mechiras Yosef, he was Zeicha to save the whole world. Now, I mean, Atzas Hashem Yisokum, that's the Alter von Kelm's, that's his shtick Torah. Atzas Hashem Yisokum, Eibush is going to turn around all your mistakes, all your Averis. I heard from him, his picture's right there. Where is he? Yitzchak Kayin. Is he it? That's him. Yitzchak Kayin told me that when you do tshuva, when you do an Aveira, you create an ugly malach that's out to kill you. And when you leave the world, he's going to get on your case for the Aveira that you did. And during your lifetime also, Levi, you're not nitzel from him. All the tzaras people have, the Averis are getting to work. When you do tshuva, so he's out to kill you. When you pass away from this world, you're going to meet all the Malachei Chabolah that get to work on you. Every Averi you ever did, the Chavetz Chaim says, some of those Malachim are talkative ones. If you spoke Lashon Hara, you get one of those. And he's going to babble about what about Lashon Hara. So there's Malachim, there's good ones, there's bad ones. So he told me, Rabbi Yitzchak, he says, when you do tshuva, that same Malach that was created to destroy you, suddenly becomes your best friend. And he's going to stick up for you. And he's going to say good things for you. So, Rishayim Alayim Charotas, because they don't believe in tshuva, that's what I want to tell you. There's a famous story that I tell over, that I heard from Matcha Schwab, Zatzal, that he once messed up with a shidduch. He said the wrong thing. And he was Iceman. She came to Rabbi Yerucham, and he said, Rabbi Yerucham, look what I did. I could have married this. And she said, I said something no good. I did something no good. She didn't like it. Boom, you lost the whole shidduch. Rabbi Yerucham told him, you made a mistake, but the Eibishter wanted you to make that mistake. The mistake was min hashamayim. All the mistakes we make are min hashamayim. Look what could happen from Shalu Shaloi Kahagan. They did such disgusting things, and look what beautiful things came out of that, from such mistakes. Look, so next time you make a mistake, now you know Lavan comes in handy. How many people, when they were under by the Bטחון, they said, go, put your hands on top by the collar over there and say, no. What did they say? Achiseinu, atihi, Lavan's pshiktaita, Lavan's bracha. Everybody, you got it. All the Jews do it. L'netzach netzachim. Everybody gives a bracha to the kala. Whose bracha is that? Uncle Lavan. You know he was? Lavan bikesh lakar sakoil. Compared to Parai, Lavan was the worst. And everybody's using him. And everybody's Eimar and Simcha. What does he know about Simcha? Lavan. I'll tell you what, I just saw this. The Gain says, what? The Gain says like this, that the Ruach Tzfeinis blows when David HaMelech used to hear a harp. He used to hear a harp playing, a wind from the north blew. He says it was a wind of the north blew his harp every night, David HaMelech, and started playing beautiful music. Now, I wanted to be very something. Vaseb is from the north. I'm sure there's a million reasons. I have no shacks with these things. But I just want to be very. When we went into Gullus, it's mitzafain tiftach. From north, that's Babel. And when Mashiach is coming, when we're going to come, all the Yidden are coming, mitzafain. It's a pasuk. It's as Mernasar Yuchsin brings down. We come back from the Gullus, mitzafain and mikol haratzos. Tzafin is the beginning of the end. The Gullus began there. Mitzafain, the evil will come to us from the north. The north is the place that they're going to wipe. Babel came and attacked us. And that was the first Chorb Beis Hamikdash. So I wanted to tell you about like this. David HaMelech's harp he was playing, there was a ruch, there are 4 ruchos. And there's a whole thing when Mizrach, you go, now each one blows at a different. The one that blew his harp at nighttime, David HaMelech, that was the north wind. So I say, you gotta use the north wind, you gotta play music, and you're gonna be happy like David. You're not gonna use that north, you're not gonna be besimcha, you get a different north. You gotta be tzoping, take your pick. You want a north wind that plays Zisa music, Zay Freilach, and Zetzang Tamanisht, then you get yourself the Buchad Netzav V'chaveirav Mitzovain. That's a pasuk. The Navi said Mitzovain is going to come, all the tzaras comes from the Tzopag. I wanted to tie another zah. By the way, the Ben Yehuda, I don't know if anybody looks at the Beis Yehuda Chumash. Beis Yehuda Chumash used to be very popular. It has Yiddish translation. And there's a medrash I once saw in the Beis Yehuda Chumash that says that why on a carbon oila you shecht b'tzafay. So it says over there that tzafay is the one place of the world that the Eibush left for us to be masakin. He created a whole world, all the four corners. Tzafay he left for us. And every time you shecht b'tzafay, you'll be masakin the world in that direction. That's the part that the Eibush wants us to correct. Okay? So I wanted a tiny. So that's why Shechita B'tzafin is a murder kavod. It's a medrash. It's a chazal. That's why. What's that? Shechita B'tzafin. All the kachi. Shechita B'tzafin. Why tzafin? Because we are massacring the whole world when we shecht in the base of makes it B'tzafin. You want to do it right? Shecht right here. So it's saying get tamanisht. You'll be out there. In Babel, you'll be massacring the world. Physically, you'll have to go with a gullus up into the gullus, and you'll be masakin. We did okay, but we turned every minus into a plus. And it's tough, we made Talmud Babli, and we used everything good, everything came out beautiful. But everybody, they have a choice, how you, okay. Now, now I mentioned last time that what the Alta, what's his name, Rabbi Yosef Zunmi Salat said a Gavol. Yosef Zunmi Salat says that David HaMelech used to play his harp, and half a night he used to learn, the other half a night he played music. He thanked Hashem. The music means thankfulness. So he said like this, he said, what was he thanking about? He was thanking of tonight's learning. The half a night you learned, the other half you thanked for that learning. Did you hear that? How many people do that? Half a night you got to thank for the Blat Gemara you learned the first half. Isn't that beautiful? If people would do that, now I told this over, you got to check with the Stolen Chassidim. But somebody told me this, and I asked the Stolen, he said it sounds good, but I don't want to say things that I'm not sure of. But this, I don't know who said it, but it's great. Says Rabbar Mikalina. That's what I heard. Aren't Yungalite Matzliach? Because when they went from the base medrash to their home, and they walked in the streets, and they didn't look at what you shouldn't look at, they didn't dance for half an hour. Why did they dance? Look what you did. You walked in the streets, you didn't look at anything. Why aren't you happy? That's why they're not matzir. I don't know if he said it or not. I don't know who said it. It's Kaval. All I know is that's for me. I go for that. You have to. I'm a fish in water. You gotta thank your head off for everything going on in your life. You gotta thank you. And now I gotta tell you half of the about. I wasn't planning on I usually prefer saying stories, but what can I do? Once in a while, you say some normal stuff. This island, I think it's all right. Now, the kids in my class, I tell stories all day. Once in a while, I say a Mishnah, and suddenly everyone's listening. It's good to hear some Torah for a change. Well, it's like fresh, good music. I have that situation because I'm into Musar a lot. And whenever I open La Gemara, I have a special gishmak. Wow, I'm finally learning something. There's nothing like it. Nothing like Musar. No, chas v'shalom. I'm just saying. But the change, whatever. Now, what was I saying? There's a half of the Gemara. I was machadish it 2 days ago. And I learned, there's a chabur over there. I don't learn with them. I learn my own stuff, my chabrusa. The Rosh Chabur is a fire. I love him. He leads in learning. Sometimes he looks like, his mom is not here. And I aim for those people. I like them. You know, I don't know if I'm in Ganson, one of them. I consider myself Mordechai. You know, in the Vardigas, Mordechai was their man. Mordechai gave up a little bit, even though I'm a Gain Olam, we know that. But Mordechai gave up his Torah to save Klal Yisrael. I'm on that Mahalach. You know, Mordechai, even though Parashim men and Mikzah Sanhedrin, you know, it says on Mordechai at the end. They didn't, Mordechai knew. He's a great person. He created Purim. But in learning, you're still not from the real thing. It's often there's a Rashi. So I'd like to be a Mordechai. First of all, look what he did. He brought us a Purim. And second of all, the b'zaynis that they don't hold from you, I go for that. But I want to tell you another fella. First of all, you learn from that they're not nesbol from Mordechai. That's murder. You're not learning? I'm sorry. You're not. And Mordechai is not nesbol from them. Mordechai, okay, you don't hold from me, that's fine. I got my Purim. You're a finer Sanhedrin, but I'm Mordechai Esther. You got halachas. You're going to remember me forever. May Purim loy batlu lo netzach. So anyway, you hold yours, but I hold mine. But I have like this. I like to relate to Mordechai. But it says, Am Mordechai. There's a puzzle, Am Mordechai. Who's his buddies? The B'nai Torah. His friends are B'nai Torah. Doesn't say he had friends. Haman had lots of friends. You know that? Haman was popular. Where? Mordechai? He wasn't popular. All those people that feel they're not popular, come with me, watch Mordechai. You open a Gemara Megillah, you want to see how all B'nai Yehuda hated him, and all the B'nai Binyamin hated him, you know that? That's all they had those days. I mean, still till today. Mainly with Yehuda and Binyamin. That's what we're all about. The other Shvatim are gone. And they all hated him, because he made trouble. So he wasn't popular, Mordechai. And he was okay. He didn't mind not being popular. He was a Novandiga. The whole sheet is Novandig. They like Mordechai. He's their man. So he wasn't popular. He was Isaac Zikar Rabim. And what was I saying? So he liked Mordechai. He hung around B'nai Torah. Venus you're one of them. They like you. They don't like you. I like B'nai Torah. I gravitate always when I see it. First of all, I'll tell you I have an agia, because I have my Bטחון weeklies that I want to give out. And I want the most critical people. I don't want the nice guys to say, even if he is a big Ben Torah, but there are some people that are nice people. I don't get near them. There's a certain Yigam, I'm not saying his name, Yigain, you're a tzaddik, and he used to watch. I never went to him. I went to him once or twice. It was over. He shook his head. Oh, Zaya good. Zaya good. I says, I'm not going to him anymore. I go to the most critical, nasty guys are screaming based medrash that they're always right and everyone else is wrong. I run to them. I run to the big guns. That's because then if they say I'm okay, I can put it in Bטחון Weekly and I'm safe. That's why nobody criticized my Bטחון Weekly. I've been told many, many times. They saw the biggest, this Lamdan, this, that. They're all going through cover to cover and they're bringing it home. Why? Because I checked myself out. Still, I enjoy that, Olam. And I had a vod. I just couldn't let myself back. And this Rosh Chabura, ligs and learn. I always go to the top. When I go to a chasana, I aim for if somebody big, I'm either a prat to break my fear of people. So that's for Musar alone. It's Kedai to say hello and tell them my vart. Or to steig a little. Hang around big guns, you'll steig. Aaron Shechter, he once saw me in Camp Morris. And I was standing next to, those days I was more like this. Today, I don't think it would be a problem. But those days, and he remembered me for Chaim Berlin from way back. And I was like, I need a little chizuk, one of those quiet guys that can't open the door. Standing next to me was one of the chevra who was well played. He was one of the big chevra. by the way, the Olam Hatanur, Venus wie mit mij, ich denk eigen Sachen verkehrt sich besser mit Johnny. Venus wie, ein bisschen Kleise bei Geise, heutige Zeiten. Kinar Yisrael. So what I want to say. Yeah. So the Rabban Shechter sees me. This is very important. I'll tell you who else did this to me. The Bashir Fishman once got a hold of me in Chaim Berlin, and he said, I want you to hang around so-and-so. He's for you. And when I came to Lakewood, some people who were smart, they said, who are you hanging around? You hang around certain people, they're going to schlep you in, and you're going to get your feet on the ground. You'll be one of the boys. You hang around him, the people will be mashing you more. Rabban Shechter told me, that guy's for you. Hang around with him. Keep together with him. He's a good person, and he's one of the better guys. So I do that. I hang around for different reasons. I don't know. I did for my prat, and I want to check out my Torah, and I want to be a Besser mensch who really knows how to learn. I want to speak to a guy who knows Shas. I want a guy who's, I run after them left and right. Now, I ran after him. And even though I felt it was wrong, because he's very orangutan learning, and the Chabura kills him day and night. He's a very active Rosh Chabura that's ligging and learning. He's mamish not here. And I loved watching him in action. I honestly enjoy watching him. I once told, it was a different guy, that I watched him learn. And now he leagues in learning. I walked over to him and I told him, I'm telling you, I watch you learning and I love it. You don't know how much simcha you're giving me. The way you league in learning, I love it. I enjoy it. It's great. I did this a few times. The guys didn't know what hit them. They're not used to hearing that stuff. But that's the way I talk. I advise you. It's a great prat. Do it! Show your love for Torah. What's his name? Laser Gordon, who was one of the big tellers. Used to see a bacher learn. He used to walk over and kiss him and hug him. Guy sitting and learning. Kavel. Then you'll have a chalik in his learning. You know that? You want to be part of it? You want to come home and tell your wife, I don't feel comfortable in Lakewood. Why? These guys are much better than me. See the way he yells and learning, and I don't know anything. What are you doing? Sugar, go over to him and love him, and tell him you love his learning. Then you automatically become an ayin tova, and you have a chelik in his learning. It's yours. And you're even better because you're working on your midos. And when you come home and you start kvetching to your wife, I'm out of place, whatever, what are you killing? You're ruining all the fun of life. Enjoy life, break your midas. You have to follow, be like Evrase Shmur Lenetzach. Esav, you started with me, I'll never forget that. Can't look you in the face. Never again. If you could say that to me, it's over. Our relationship is over. How could you say such a thing? How could you talk like such a thing? How? Remember the guy? Remember the Yid? I remember he was a farmer in Eretz Yisrael. His wife was a witch first class. She was a professional. She yelled, Yom Balayla Lo Yish Baisu. Lagisa Ba Yom Balayla. Is that? She was an Amoliga European Yidina, She's like these old Polish ladies that non-stop kvetched and scream and yell and anger, what are the real thing, a durka bakana bitch, the real emes a like first class, like Machshepa Gamuda. His mama, she passes like all accounts, and he used to laugh. He used to listen. She used to curse him. I remember distinctly. He used to roll every time she cursed him. So that I remember more than anything else. He gave her blessings till Mashiach. He enjoyed her. Ma vab, they said, I heard once on Altas Labot, I'm a shreit. It's a get for the lingid. It's good for your lungs. Scream alive, healthy. Keep yelling. Why not? You see the attitude. It's all in your head. You want to be what? If you could say that. If you now I know where I stand with you. I always wasn't sure. After he said that, now I know. This is a true story. A friend of mine, I'm going to get to Rosh Chabura soon. I didn't lose clear. I just got anyway. So when I talk about him, my mind works better. Anyway, so what was I saying? Now you got to remember the other thing. Yeah. Anyway, this guy, he's working at a certain place, and the boss told him to his face. He once played not a healthy political move. He said he was too friendly with the competitor, and the boss went out of his mind. It killed him. And he didn't mean it. He was just giving him whatever. He had to hump him a little bit, whatever. And since that day, the boss told him to his face, you're not really qualified, and you're not really fit in, so-and-so. He's a pleasure to work with. You're always coming late. You're always not, whatever, the job isn't done well. It's slipshod. What is it called? It's not. Well, we'll hold you in the meantime, but you're on your way out. We'd rather not have you. He told him to his face, how would you like to work? Now, when the guy came home, he told his wife, and his wife started crying, and he started crying, and his wife started crying. How could you work under such conditions? And his wife told him, why don't you call Mendel? So he called Mendel. Mendel laughed his head off. So what? You need the guy. He happens to be a good person. He works hard. He's a tzaddik. And the boss don't like you. So what? I need him. You want me to show you? Rabbeinu Hirsch says this in a pasuk in Tehillim. I forgot the pasuk. He says in Tehillim, David HaMelech says, they all hate me. And I couldn't care less. I got to get the pasuk. I'll get it. Everybody in the world hates me. David HaMelech said that. The pasuk says two things. When they're all helping me, I fafamon. They want to help me, don't help me. He's not, doesn't get carried away with people, b'chlal. When you all love me, what? No, it's not. Hey, he has plenty of that. Kol adam kaizev. Don't ask him and people. David HaMelech with people. Did he get along? He got along, but people liked him and echte getog. He was a Mr. Unpopular. Anybody have trouble with being popular or being? So I got Mordechai and David. I have two good friends that were not too popular at all. David HaMelech Shem Yirachem. They held he was off the derech. He had whatever Bathsheba. They were gedolim against the boy. He didn't have it easy. If you want to be popular, take a look at it. If you don't. Anyway, so he said, I don't mind that. So I told the guy, you hate me? Hate me. So what? And I said it many, many times. Oh, you hate me. That's lovely. You can hate me. That's good. That's fine. In my books, that's good. Hate me. You love me. I'll tell you the story about love me. Listen to this one. This happened to me. I'm the guy it happened to. Happened to me more than once. A parent comes over to me and tells me, this happened many times. The first part, the second part one, Rabbi Mendel, my son hated school till he got you. Now he loves school. He's so happy to go to school since you're his Rebbe. You know how many times I heard this? Now, I'm the 5th grade Rebbe, the kid's out of my class. And the parent tells me, the other Rebbes didn't really understand him. You are the Rebbe whom he likes, with your stories, with your this, with your that. You fit just perfect. The next year's Rebbe comes over to me. Now, he wasn't telling me because it would have been embarrassing for me, but I overheard him talking about the same parent that told me last year, you're the only Rebbe he ever liked. Till now it was nothing. I overheard him say, the same parent. So-and-so tell me, my son never liked school. All the years was disaster. And last year, forget about. Now he loves. I've had that more than once. Next time, they all love him. Don't get so carried away. They love him. Hey, you love me, you hate me. It's the gate b'chad. And it's the elas v'nezik ben hanivra elam and abayre. Novhardok used to say that favorite chavis havavas. And it's the elas v'nezik ben hanivra elam and abayre. There's nothing. What's the difference? All the Abishter testing you. What do you care? This guy, he took my advice, and I did a job on him. I taught him how to learn Musa a little bit. Shar Yichud HaMaisa, you got to learn. Shar Yichud HaMaisa says in so many words. The people around you are. Are you afraid of? Are you concerned about a cow's opinion of you? Are you concerned about that pretty flower's opinion of you? The grass, my Rebbe told me, das beide von a cat's. A cat's opinion is very important. A vine, a tree, is important. That's what people are. It's Chavis Alvavis. Says it, you know where to find it? It's very hard to find. It's a Perek Dalet, smack in the middle. I can't say where beginning and somewhere in the middle, you'll find it. Where he says, Mamish, the Bali Chai, what's the difference? They love him, they hate him. Who cares what you say? Anafka Mina. I have to make Hashem happy in Yenavel. I have only the Rabbeinu Shalom. Don't be a spot from people. Bug off. Don't be a spot what people think you lost up. You want to be a happy person. And this guy was busy with his wife, crying with his wife. She, he didn't listen to me about part one. I said, never tell your wife what's going on. You know what Reb Nosson told me, the Chosin Vat? He told us, never tell your wife that you had a fight with somebody. Because she's going to say, I think the other guy, the other guy's got a point. In fact, you told the right person. Reb Nosson, B'Shem, Tana, Develio, it's Chazal. Somebody, don't tell your wife. She'll be on the other guy's side. You kill it. So I never say, my wife, B'chal, I don't talk negative no matter what it is. I come home, she knows if I'm raving, they love me. Everybody loves me. Yeah. I have a one-track mind forever. I promise you, I'm the most boring husband you ever met. I don't know how my wife lives with me. There's no gossip. I'm serious. I speak of learning with her a lot. I speak of how cute the Eineklach are. I tell her my Vatlach, she's good. You know what's good about her? Open the door. I want my wife to hit us. You know why she's so special? She's able to live with me for so many years. I'm joking. I'm joking. But the last time I said it, she should get. Mine is as Amazoga. He says it. He said she never has to live with me. Anyway, I'm not that bad. My wife. Okay. Now what was I saying? Let's get back to this fellow is his boss. I promise you, he kisses him, he hugs him, he pops him. I taught him, grass, a katz, like my Rebbe told me. That's exactly how. Now he likes him, he respects him, but he's not scared of him. My job. That's how you treat me. You don't hold for me. How can I work under these conditions? He couldn't kill us. I said, build yourself up. You're going to wait for people to say, the famous going, Yalu Chazar. Let them pray. Beloy, picha. So I'm at the picha. Yoim balayla, that's my going. The going says it, the Marsha says it, and at least two more mafarshim. Yalu Chazar. Come inside, Rabbi Say. Oh, we have a big island. Any room over there? Yeah, let's move back. I lost weight for the occasion. Come, move, push back. There's a reason why I'm always dieting. There's the one that I work the other way. I try to have as least weight as possible because I realize what I'm in for. I have such a big oilam that, okay, anyway. Come inside, drink a bissel shop. L'chaim, tovim v'lishalom, simchas b'yal yidin. Now I'm going to tell you a vote that's half full of a fella. A baisai. Oh, yeah. Picha. You don't have people praising you all day? You do the job. I do that day and night. I hold for myself. I told you when I went to Bnei Brak, I had to speak. I was scared. They scared the daylights out of me. Bnei Brak, watch what you say. These Americana jokes are not going to go in Bnei Brak. They scared me. Before I walked in there, I paskin, I wrote in my diary. I'm always speaking in the past. I spoke Givaldi. It was the best schmooze they ever heard. They'll ever will hear. I had a packed house, 1,000 people there, according to my account. Anyway, Kipsaran. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. But now I said I never asked one person if it was a good speech or not. Not one. I don't need your opinion. I already know the truth. It was Givaldic. I'm not asking no opinions. I know it's Givaldic. I hold like that. First of all, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you, and I'll leave it to emes. Why? Because I did that l'shem shemayim, and not l'shem people. I have to have the whole world holding. You see what I told you? Oh, they love you. You know. See what it's worth? They love you. They all love you. You know, David HaMelech had that too. They loved him too. Remember? All the ladies were singing after he killed the thousands of Plishtim. They said, Shaul kills only thousands. David killed Revavos, tens of thousands. Right after that, that's the last time he enjoyed covet, if he enjoyed it. David was a malach. But if he ever enjoyed covet, that was the last time. Toich Kedei Dibur, Shaul started hating him like poison. And the rest is history. He had a lifetime of Gehenim, mainly from Shaul, because of the covet that those ladies gave him. They were saying, oh, David, the hero, David, the bear. They hold from you, everybody. You're the big hero. Don't be so happy with that stuff. But I am happy when people are not say I'm a great guy. If they say I'm great, I'm going to PTA. I'm going to be writing down all the shvachas that they tell me, even though I know. I already know. What is the Mr. So-and-so? Yes. Are you going to say the same thing to the next year's Rebbe? Are you going to tell? What? Let me enjoy it. But I hold now the truth came out. What happens next year? He's a little tumult. I don't know. I don't mix into next year. He said a good word. I take it and I enjoy it. Rabbi Miller said, my brother was getting covered from a certain, he was worried about covered. You're getting covered? Enjoy it. I believe in that. I enjoy covered ad moed. Anyway, nothing wrong. Enjoy myself. I live with it. What do you think? I'm such a great person because I'm kvelling over the covered in me. Novandik, now I'm going to tell you something that I go lehepach my Rebbe. My Rebbe is in Gan Eden. He's on my side. The Olam HaEmes, he knows I'm a Kana Nebuch. Leave him alone. My Rebbe once told me, when you're besimcha, where's it coming from? It was coming from covet? Then when you won't get covered, you're dead. So don't be told. That's true. By the way, it's true. If you're living only on those stupid compliments, you're in trouble, as you can see. What happens next year, what happens when tomorrow they don't like you, whatever happens, say. But for us, see, so that's why make sure your simcha is coming from a pure source, that it'll stay forever. I also all the way with that. But when you do get covered, nicht gefährlich, if you enjoy it. There I go like Miller. I'm Miller. Miller's anicle is on my side. Now, listen to this. The best anicle he ever had. Now I want to tell you, what did I tell this younger man? How much more time do I have before my gaboyim get on my case? You got to watch. A Rebbe has to make them satisfied. They have all the money. I'm joking. So, I said like this, I love it. I fell over the vote. I walked over to him. I says, I apologize. I know you're into your sugya and psachim. I don't know where he is. I says, I got to tell you this vote. Can you give me a minute? Okay. I said like this. Eliezer ben Avram is telling the whole story of Hashkacha and everything, right? He's telling the story. And what does he say? He says, and then after Rivka, I saw Rivka came, she told me she is, and I thanked the Eibishter. And he said three things. There was, Ki Akida, Ishtachavoy, and it was Mavarach, and he said, Baruch Hashem, what's that all about? He's telling a story, and he tells a whole detail, and I thanked Hashem. You need that detail? What do you need it for? Love is not interested in that. The answer is, when you thank Hashem on something, a whole story, it's a different story. If you finish Shas and you didn't thank Hashem for that Shas, it's an inferior Shas. It's not the real thing. If you daven the Geshmak Hashem and Esa, you didn't say thank you. If you, anything, when you say thank you for anything in your life, your body, it's a different body. Your house, you said thank you, it's a different house. Your wife, anything, you cracked a good joke, the other liked it, say thank you, it's a different joke. When you say thank you, it's chala bracha. I'll give you a raya. The main thank you is bikurim. And when they thank by, we say by bikurim, it ends up with hashkiva v'mayin kosherem and shemayim uvarech. It's like, give us a bracha. I just said thank you. Shika bracha from shemayim. When you say thank you, and anything you're doing, it's chala bracha. Although this Rosh Chapura went wild. He said, this stuff is mizumanim. This, anybody can eat it. Isn't that great? Didn't I change your life? The gabai's on my case.